how many exercises do you need per muscle? This is a very important topic I see a lot of people fumble on. Maybe you're doing just so small or you're doing so much. So in this video, I'll be covering how many exercises do you need per muscle group, which is very important. Let's say, for instance, you're working on your shoulders. How many exercises do you need for your front delt? How many exercises do you need for the sides and the rear delt? This is something everyone has to make sure they are getting properly. So in this video, I'll be covering how much sets do you need per week, how to choose the number of exercises for each muscle group, how hard should you go with your sets, and which is better. So guys, you have a lot to get from this video. Let's jump right into it. Number one is, how many sets per week do you actually need? Guys, a lot of studies have shown that between 15 to 20 sets per week has been identified as the sweet spot. So no matter how many times you're going to work on each muscle group, you have to make sure you fall between 15 to 20 sets. Okay, let's say for instance the chest. You do your chest on Monday and you do your chest on Wednesday. Okay, let's say you're doing the incline bench, you're doing the flat bench, you're doing the cable flies for the chest pecs. You have to make sure that the number of sets you do on Monday and the number of sets you will do on Thursday sum up to be anywhere between 15 to 20. So if you're doing so much sets per week, that means you're doing just too much. Or if you're doing so little sets, that means you're just going small. And this can be determined by how many exercises you actually do per muscle group. Which takes me to the next section of this video, which is how to choose your exercises. Let me make this clear. The number of exercises you use for each muscle group depends on the number of sets you're going to do. So if you're going to do one exercise for front delt, rear delt, side delt, if you're doing one exercise for each of the delts, the set differs when you're going to be doing two exercises for each of the delts. Okay, so let's say for instance you're doing one exercise for each of the shoulder delts. You're recommended to do about 5 to 6 sets. Okay, that's if you're doing one exercise. So let's say one exercise for your front delt, one exercise for the side and the rear. You are required to do about 5 to 6 sets. That will help you build good shoulders, and that is what I use myself. So on the situation where you want to combine two exercises, let's say for the front delt you're doing the dumbbell overhead press and also you want to do the front raises, how many sets do you need? Now if you want to do this, you have to calculate your sets, all the sets for the shoulder exercise, so that it falls between 15 to 20, which is what is required per week. So if you're doing two exercises for one muscle group, you're required to do only 3 sets of each. Once you start doing above 3 sets of each exercise, you might start doing a little bit too much. So if you're going to be combining two exercises for one muscle group, you have to make sure you do about 2 to 3 sets. But if you're going to use only one, make sure you do about 5 to 6 sets. This will help you develop a lot of muscles. Now let's jump right to the next section of this video, which is how hard should you go? You all already know that I don't really encourage training to failure, but the number of sets you're going to be doing will determine how close to failure you can go. So let's say for instance you're doing only one exercise per muscle group, one exercise for your front delt, side delt, rear delt. You shouldn't go to failure. Okay, you can go very close to failure but never go to failure. That's if you're doing one exercise per muscle group, which will make you do about 5 to 6 sets. However, make sure you're pushing yourself somewhere close to failure, then do about 5 of those repetitions. But let's say you're doing only 3 sets and you're going to be combining 2 exercises for one muscle group. How hard should you go? If you're going to be doing only 3 sets, you shouldn't be making your sets that easy, because you know you've got only 3. If you mess up any of the sets, you might not achieve the kind of growth you want. So you can actually push very close. In fact, you should go to failure. I see a lot of people who actually go to failure when they are doing their exercises, and most times when I see the number of sets they are doing, it's either they are doing 2 sets or they are doing 3 sets. And now this takes me to the last section of this video, which is actually better. Should you be doing 5 sets when you'll be doing 1 exercise for each muscle group and you won't be going anywhere close to failure? Or should you be doing 2 exercises for 1 muscle group where you will have to be doing 3 sets of each and be pushing yourself straight to failure? Which is actually better? Listen guys, I've been working out for over 8 years and I've tried the high repetition side, I've tried low reps, I've tried high sets, I've tried low sets. I've pushed myself to failure so many times. I have still not trained close to failure so many times. I've been building a lot of muscle for all these years, and I'll be telling you, the one you should actually go for depends. For me, you have to test the both of them, okay? Maybe for the first week, you can try the 2 exercise section where you can be pushing yourself to failure. And the other week, maybe you can do this one for like 3 weeks. Maybe the next 3 weeks, you can try the other side where you do only 1 exercise and you won't be going to failure, okay? Just go very close to failure. Try both of them out, check yourself out, know which one is better for you. I keep telling you all, don't do things because someone else is doing it. Experiment with a lot of things. Maybe you combining 2 exercises can help you grow faster. Then you combine 2 exercises. Or maybe when you do 1 exercise, it still helps you grow faster. So experiment with yourself. Like I said, I've done the whole experiment and I found out that I grow faster when I do just 1 exercise for each muscle group. Then I do about 5 to 6 reps. This has helped me. So if combining 2 exercises for each muscle group where you will have to do like 3 sets each and make sure you're pushing yourself to failure, like I said, if you mess up any set, that's the disadvantage. You won't get it back. So you have to make sure that your form is good, the hypertrophy and level progression is great, so that you can get all 3 sets. Try them out, find the one that works best for you. And this is it guys. This is how you should choose the number of exercise you should do per week, okay? Like and subscribe, share the video. I'll get back to you on the next one.